You are nothing in life if you aren't teachable. One thing that I live by and I tell myself every day, and I tell people younger and older than me, it's really going to be what the audience, what the listener makes out of it. But I will tell you this, you are nothing in life if you aren't teachable. And always be willing to learn. Yeah.
Always, because once you know everything, there's no hope. There's no hope for you if you know everything. Be teachable.
And you can really learn anything. It doesn't have to be through school. It can be through experience. It can be through a book. It can be through a podcast. It can be through ChatGPT. We have so many resources in the palm of our hands. So many to take advantage of.
Being open to it.
Yes. Yeah. And that goes for, like entrepreneurs. It goes for people who have careers. Just be teachable. Always listen. Yeah. Listen before you talk.
Out west where the sun always beams bright, Midland skies keep the hustle in sight. BAM Consultants got the blueprint intact. For dreamers on the grind, they got your back. Championing dreams from the ground to supreme, providing that spark, igniting the team. Marketing flow strategies that gleam. BAM in Midland, building your dream. They teach the
Bam! All right, here we go. Miss Destiny Vargas, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So I'm excited to talk to you today because you're at your age, you have several businesses going on, right? And you're doing well, right? So I think it's interesting to hear your story, right? I see businesses as a reflection of their owners, right? And you have three, and I feel that all three have a reason, a purpose behind them, that if you were to break yourself down psychologically, they are expressions of yourself.
Yes.
Right? So you have several businesses going on. So I want you to tell the people, what businesses do you own?
I own Destiny's Handbags and More. That is my oldest company and my first business ever. I started at 15 years old. I also own Lux Credit Consulting, which has been around for 2 years now. Started that one at 19 years old, and then just around September, I opened Far West Lux Customs, which is a custom shop, and that is my newest and first brick-and-mortar business. It has been the most challenging and stressful one out of them all, but I am grateful for all three. And in 2026, I have a lot more in store as well. This year, I'm pushing business back into Mexico, so I am building a venue that will be for all kinds of parties, wedding, quinceañeras, baptisms, expos, lots of stuff. And I also have another business that I have planned for such a long time. I've had it in my mind, ever since I kind of started in my first business, Destiny Handbags and More. But I never fully wanted to take complete ownership of this one. And I feel like now that I have so many successful businesses and I know how I want things done, I can kind of tell somebody else how to run it. This year I will be opening Baby Corp. And
Baby Corp.
Yes, it is Baby Corp vending, and it's going to be vending machines focused on newborn needs, new mother needs. So we have some new stuff coming in 2026.
So say you're at the mall.
Yes.
And you need diapers.
Yeah.
You're out of diapers, right? You could buy a single diaper.
Yes, they will be coming in packs of 3. So it's kind of just that perfect amount you need to get you
through the day
until you get back home. But it saves you from not running all the way back home or running to your nearest Walgreens or Walmart in a situation where you're at the mall or an airport or, even universities. Those things are kind of inaccessible in a lot of places.
That's a great idea.
Yes.
And that's kicking off this year.
Yes.
Right? So that will be business number 4?
Yes.
5?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Amazing. So tell everybody, how old are you right now?
I am 21 years old.
You're just 21. All right. So that's amazing in itself. Yeah, 5 businesses at 21. But you started your first one when you were 15.
Yes.
All right. So I guess tell us a little bit about Destiny. All right. About yourself. How at 15 years old did you even have an idea of I'm not only, I want to start a business. Most people, normal people, I want to start a business someday when I'm older.
Yeah.
But you're no, right now, 15, I'm going to do it. Walk us through that.
So when I was 15 years old, it was in 2020, and it was right around whenever COVID happened. We were all shut down at home. And right before COVID, fully took control, I was struggling to find a job and struggling to kind of decide where I wanted my life to go.
Yeah.
And a lot of us at 15, we have no idea where our lives are going to go.
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yes. And I did come from a very troubled background. I did not finish school. So at 15, I had a lot of spare time on my hands. I was trying to, get a job. I was, listening a lot to what my family had to say. And they were like, you need to get a regular job. You need to get a career. You're going to work a 9 to 5 in an office. But also at 15, I had already had, I think 3 tattoos at the time. So it was, a little challenging to find a job with tattoos, not being in school and not having completed high school. So when COVID happened and we were kind of all stuck at home, it was kind of my, way to collect and rethink and regroup myself. Being at home, what do I want to do? Am I going to get a job after this? Is the world actually going to end like they say it is? A lot of thinking happened, a lot of spiritual, meaningful stuff. Just really thinking about what I'm going to do with myself. And it was definitely really challenging too, because I never really fit or wanted to fit into the 9 to 5 career. I've never really, been interested in pursuing an education. So whenever COVID happened and a lot of people were reselling things on like Twitter and making like Etsy mugs, and everyone was, just shopping so much, Amazon, everything was getting delivered to your door. There was no more going out. There was no more human interaction. I decided, I was like, you know what? I wonder if this really works. I wonder, what can happen. I'm going to try it. So before Destiny's Handbags and More, it was actually my first business. It is my first business still standing, but I had 3 other small businesses that I decided to take, a leap of faith in at that time when I was 15, because I was like, well, let me try all of these. One has to work. And I did drop shipping, where you kind of just make your storefront and then it just gets shipped directly to the customer. I started that with, it was 3 different ones. So it was Couture Cases, 23 Jewelry Co., and yours truly Exotic Wear. And it was jewelry, phone cases, and actually dancewear. So because in Midland and Odessa, Texas, we do have gentlemen's clubs, but we at that time we did not have like a place that had gentlemen's clubs outfits, shoes, and things like that the girls needed to work. And at that time also, that's what was kind of popular, because COVID was happening and not a lot of places were open. Some places were a lot of people were trying to find their escape, and that is an escape for a lot of people. So those were my 3.
They allowed them to be, were they considered essential?
Technically, yeah, because they needed them so bad, and nobody had it. Nobody had these, outfits for these girls.
Yeah.
So at 15, those were the 3 things I took up. And out of all of them, the phone cases hit the most. And the phone cases were kind of also what got me into the purses that I now sell, because I was like, well, what, we can branch out from phone cases. We offer, purses, wallets, lots of stuff, Apple Watch bands. And I was selling on Twitter when it was Twitter, and just kind of doing what everybody did, posting your Shopify, posting as much as you could day and night. I got most of my orders late at night, 1, 2, 3 in the morning, when everybody was up shopping. And then
after a couple,
and definitely too, like with the exotic wear, I would go and I would present it to them and tell them, like, you can either order online or I can bring it to you. So that kind of took me into having things on hand and known for selling the dresses and stuff like that. And I did that consecutively for a year. And after a year, I was 16. I was able to sustain myself at this point. And I was living with my grandparents still. And I told my grandparents, I am very grateful for what you guys have done for me, but I think I'm ready to branch out. I want to learn how to get a car next. I want to learn how to move out next and be on my own. And it's actually crazy because my grandparents, they still to this day, they kind of just look at me and they're like, we don't truly understand what you do. You make money and you have businesses, but it's just so odd to them, especially with drop shipping, because it's really not a lot that one does.
Right. Yeah,
And
she's just always on her phone.
always on your phone. And
like just another typical teenager, always on their phone. You're here cranking out.
Yeah,
Business.
yes. And then I remember, I'll never forget, I went into the Cache Rose over there in Odessa, and it's a florist shop. And she was like, oh my God, I love your purse. Like, where did you get it? Like, did you get it in Dallas, Houston? And I was like, no, I was like, I actually didn't. I was like, I bought it online. And she was like, no way. She was like, for how much? How many thousands did you drop on that?
Right, you're like,
And I was like, it was like $40. And she was like, there's no way. She was like, can you get me one by tomorrow and I will give you 100? And I was like, oh, okay. So I ordered her purse. I went and dropped it off. And she was like, you know what? I need 5 more. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, you know, this lady is really liking the bags. Yeah. And she was like, you should really consider, you know, selling these. Like, here in Midland and Odessa, people they'll take advantage of this. Yeah. And they're really good quality. She was like, I could not tell, you know, that your purse was a replica. I love these purses. And if you're selling them for this price, I will continue to buy my whole collection from you. And I was like, you know what? Oh my God. Like, I went home and I was like, this is actually insane. I can't believe this lady loves my bag. And for me, it was just like another little dumb buy, because I had the income coming in and I was 16. So I was collecting purses and shoes and all that stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take her up on this. So I ordered 5 bags and they sold, I think, within like 25 minutes on Facebook.
What?
And I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is insane. And it's bringing me so much more income than all of the other 3 combined. And it's less stress. It's one item, you know. Yeah. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to pick this up a little bit more. Yeah. And I continued to do so. I started with lots of raffles, lots of giveaways, trying to grow my customer base in Midland and Odessa, local, and then branching out to Lubbock and Houston and Dallas. And we have now shipped orders to all 50 states and to out of the country. And so that one really took off. Yeah. And that's kind of what I decided. I was like, you know what? Out of everything I've done and, you know, tried so far, I'm going to pursue this one the most. Like, this is what I want to do. Yeah. And, you know, kind of how you said in the beginning, like, you feel like each one of my businesses, it's almost like a little reflection of me. And like, you know, if you break it down, you can get kind of psychology into the psychology of it. And when with all of the other ones that I was selling, I remember, like, I didn't have a purpose for it. I was, you know, just a reseller like everybody else, drop shipping, just trying to make a buck. And with the purses, when I would give these bags to these ladies, it was amazing for me. You know, I had a lady look for a Odin style bag from Louis Vuitton. She could not find one for the life of her because it was a vintage bag, and it had gone, she told me it got stolen in San Antonio. So she spent so many years wishing she had this bag, and I got her, you know, the replicated version of it, and she gave me the biggest hug. It had the biggest smile on her face. She was like, wow, this is it. Like, I am so grateful that you found it. Yeah. Being able to like, you know, there's ladies and women, even men, you know, who aspire so much to have a designer item, but those things are pricey. Right. And I mean, and now day and age, it's even coming out that they're not actually worth the quality and worth the price. Right. So seeing and being able to fulfill that in people and giving them their first little designer piece and it being affordable to them, that really made me feel something. And I was like, you know what? I love what I do now. Yeah. I got into reading on like how these bags were made, where the designs came from, all of this stuff. And I was like, you know what? This is what I actually have a passion for. Yes. Finding your passion.
But you had started going through it and it just kind of fell in your lap.
Yeah.
Right? Like out of the sky. Just boom, here we go. And the cool thing was that you were paying attention.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could have, just taken that one transaction. Oh, that was cool. Made a $60 profit. All right, you know, no big deal, right? And then gone about your day and still trying to hustle phone cases. Right. But, you know, you're like, no, wait, there's more here.
Yes.
Right. And then as you were on that journey, then you saw that, okay, I'm giving people more than just a bag. You saw that you're actually contributing. Right. Yeah. And I know that's hard for like a lot of people to get their head around. Right.
Yes.
It's a purse. But there's more to it, right? Because we identify ourselves so much. Yeah. So it's really like, this is a really good lesson. Who is your customer? You know who your customer is. Mm-hmm. So how do you find, with all your different businesses, how do you personally, what's your method? How do you know who your customer is?
Really what I feel like it comes down to is solving a problem. That's what it is, really.
I love it.
And being able to provide a solution for your targeted audience, that's where I really feel like you either make or break it in business.
Yeah.
And definitely having passion behind it too, because people can really tell whenever it's just a friend or someone's not totally interested and invested into what they're selling and what they're doing for a living. So that's really what I focus on with all of my businesses, is finding that solution, putting that missing piece in there, and being able to.
Now, let me right there, like for everybody listening, you just put on a masterclass, because that's literally textbook. That's textbook. You know, like if you're going into any marketing course that knows what they're talking about and there's going to give you actual value, that's what they're going to tell you. We're solving the problem.
Yes.
Right. So it's funny because I talked with Leadership Odessa. And I got an opportunity to speak in front of the group.
Yeah.
And I started off, and I didn't have anything planned. I just got up there and I just kind of, free winging it. And I started off like, okay, when people ask me what I do, I say I'm a problem solver.
Yes.
Whether it has anything to do with business, it doesn't matter. Who am I? I'm a problem solver. And you can come to me and I will help you solve your problems. Now, that's specifically, now I've made it my business to be like, I'll solve your business problem. But at the end of the day, I'm just solving problems, right? So yeah, who has a problem? How can you solve it? Can you solve it in a way to where you can solve it for a lot of people, like repeatedly?
Yes.
And you put this on repeat. That's what the business is. It's just a model to where you put it on repeat.
Yeah.
Do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. So that's interesting. That's awesome that you've realized that. So, of course, in the actual application, hands-on building your businesses, you obviously do a lot of reading and research.
Oh, yeah.
How important is that?
It is the most vital part of your business, is your knowledge behind it, and definitely reading and knowing what you're selling, knowing what problem you're solving, what your target audience is, your numbers. Is your business, recession proof? Is your business sustainable on low months? There's a lot that goes into it, definitely, that I feel like a lot of people don't fully think about.
Right.
Yeah.
So everything you're talking about here, it's like what I would put in if I was writing a business plan.
Yeah.
Right. Did you write a business plan?
I actually just last year wrote business plans for all of my businesses.
All of them?
Yeah. I was, kind of just doing it on my own with no business plan for 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Like, okay, first, what made you say, you know what, I'm going to write a business plan for all my businesses now? So you even did this for your old businesses.
No,
just for the new ones coming. Oh,
yeah.
okay. I was like, you're going to go back to Destiny's Handbags.
Oh, no, yeah. Destiny's Handbags did get one. So for the ones still, being active, I made business plans for. Yeah.
Okay, so all your businesses, a separate business plan.
Yes.
Wow, that's okay. So
yes, because each one is its own identity, an LLC or a corporation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what made you decide that all last year after 5 years in business?
I just wanted to put it down on paper and see, because I feel like this last year, I definitely wanted to see what the next steps are, if I was going to let any go or what was going to happen, as it is kind of hard to micromanage a lot of them.
Yeah.
So that's why I put business plans together to give it to my team and to, have set in stone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So, and then your future, the one that you're going to launch this year, you wrote a business plan for that one?
Yes.
Already going into it, so you know how you're going to, all the ins and outs.
Yes.
From here on out. And it's just not in your head.
Yes.
Right? Because that's where a lot of us, we get caught up, right? Because I know how to do all ABC, right? All of this. But how does it actually play out?
Yeah.
Right. And I love that the business plan, and there's different types of business plans.
Oh yeah.
There's your boiler template, right? Which SBA just loves that boiler template, and you just write stuff down, and we'll believe you that it's gonna work, right?
Yeah.
And then there's another business plan, like a strategic business plan, where you're actually developing a business model, right? What's the business model, right? It's all the moving pieces that make your business work, right? So if you can put it together on the back of a napkin, you can put it together on a full-fledged, academically correct document, right? You know what I mean? Like with projections, you put your numbers together. numbers is the big part of it, right? Does the numbers make sense? Do your customers
Yes.
fit into that, right? And then, so like after you like wrote the business plan, did you have any epiphanies? Did it make you see things differently at all when you went through them?
It actually didn't.
No.
I feel like it was everything that we already have been doing. Yeah.
Okay. And did it help you in your, okay, so you wrote a business plan for existing businesses. Okay, that's what we're doing. How about, did it contribute towards how you approached your next business?
I feel like it did not actually. I feel like we've done really good without the business plan and stuff. I feel like it's all really just comes down to strategy and how you have discipline every day in your business.
True.
Crypto inflection point. The rise of infrastructure over speculation and hype. Money doesn't wait. Neither should we. To most, crypto still feels like a speculative sideshow. But quietly, the story has changed. But the noise is fading, and what's emerging beneath it is more serious and far more powerful. We're now entering crypto's infrastructure era. Infrastructure, the hidden engine of every revolution. Real breakthroughs do not go viral. They are not superficial. They go deep. That's the inflection point crypto is at right now. With all this information on the importance of necessity of sound infrastructure in mind, you might be wondering, who's building for this moment? Enter Texacoin, TXE, a script-based mineable layer 1 blockchain that reflects everything this infrastructure moment is about. TXE is not a speculative play. It is designed as infrastructure-first protocol engineered for performance, accessibility, and decentralization. The vision is simple. Establish the base layer through distributed mining across the state of Texas, and empower Layer 2 builders to create real applications with utility beyond speculation. Anchor the ecosystem in people, not centralized validators, antiquated institutions, or gatekeepers. Join the conversation. Texacoin is gathering momentum block by block, and we are the movement in the Permian Basin. It's not a pitch, it's not a crypto meetup, it's a table for builders, thinkers, and doers. It's open to anyone with the curiosity to explore.
This episode of BAM BizTalk is brought to you by Flash Mobile. Whether you're managing your business, chasing your dreams, or just handling life on the go, Flash Mobile gives you nationwide for GLTE coverage. No contracts and total freedom, all at a price that makes sense. Activate your plan in minutes. Bring your own device. Stay in control wherever life takes you. Contact us and make the switch today. And now let's get back to today's show.
Definitely the business plans for the upcoming businesses were more because we're bringing in bigger numbers, potentially bringing in lenders and investors and stuff. So that's really why it was needed for those new ones.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And you talked about your team earlier, right? So do you have a different team for each business, or do you have a core team that helps you with all the businesses?
No, each business is a separate entity, separate people, kind of helping out with each one.
So you don't have an executive assistant?
No, I don't. I have actually thought about hiring a personal assistant. Yeah. I feel like it definitely would help.
Yeah. No, it for sure. I think you're going to get to a point.
Yeah, definitely.
And that point's probably closer than farther away. Yeah. I mean, because, I know myself, right? I have one business and a nonprofit, but, if I didn't have help, I don't know how I would be able to function, right? Because this one business, BAM, I have a lot of different businesses.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I have one LLC, you know what I mean? So I can sympathize with that part because there's so many different aspects, right?
Oh, yeah.
What we're doing. Like here, podcast, right? This is totally an arm of BAM, right? So this is, without help, it's not possible. Right?
Yeah.
I guess it is, but I'm giving up sleep, zero time with my family. What else am I sacrificing that I really don't want to sacrifice, right? So let's talk about that. Your work-life balance, what does that look like?
So my work-life balance, I have it pretty disciplined, and I have a really tight schedule that I like to follow. Me personally, I only work, business-related things 9 to 3. The rest of the time is with my daughter. And definitely, we have our set times and set days where it's just us, nothing business related. And definitely, I think 2 years ago is when I was really starting to crack down and be more strict on, just because I am the owner, does not mean that I have to work 24/7. So as soon as 3 o'clock hits, business inquiries are responded to tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I am really strict with my time and keeping my personal schedule, like after my daughter's routine, doing my routine, to have a good balance.
Yeah, so I think that's what it's about. You put your life on rails, right? So 9 to 3, and so that's it. That's the only time you conduct business is 9 to 3.
Yes.
Not even
Monday through Friday.
Not even at night after
No,
weekends.
no,
None.
that is a strong boundary I have with myself.
Ah,
Yeah.
wow. You see, that's commendable. That's the word I'm looking for, because
Yeah.
I'm on 24/7.
Yeah. And it's really quick to get burnout and to be running from an empty cup. So that's why
Yeah.
I'm so big on 9 to 3. That's it.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so everybody's, you have to know yourself.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I was just having this conversation yesterday. So regardless, of what your method is, if you don't know yourself, that's what leads to burnout,
Oh, yeah.
right? What do you not want to sacrifice, and who are you? Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Like me, my brain really doesn't even start to make sense until after 3 or 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
But in the evenings, man, I can lock in, focus, right? But in the mornings, I'm like, so I've built that into my life. I built that into my routine, right? So now when I wake up in the morning, it's not about, oh, let me get to work. It's let me do what brings me to life.
Yeah.
Let me drink my water first, and then my coffee. Because before I would just wake up and hit the coffee and let's go, and that would lead to burnout.
Oh, yeah.
But now I take care of myself in
Yes.
the mornings, right? I do my breathing exercises, my meditations, my gratitude, and I go through all of those things. And then when I come and start the day, I'm good to go. And then I stay here till late at night. But it's a different season in my life, right? I'm an old
Absolutely.
geezer, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
my daughter's already, she's 20. That's, she turns 21 in a couple months. So, I've raised her, and she's already on, little birdie on her own. So I don't have that to think about anymore. If it's 7 or 8 o'clock and I'm not home yet, that's fine.
Yeah.
So it's just the season of my life, which allows me to do all this, because I don't think I would be able to otherwise.
Yeah.
I would need a lot of assistance. So, okay, Destiny's Handbags, how it started. So, talk to us about the credit, Lux Credit Consult. How did you start that one?
So Lux Credit Consulting, I started after I co-owned Ventura Credit Solutions for a little bit. This lady that I knew brought me into the credit repair world, and I really liked it. I enjoyed it, and we did really good together. And she decided that she was going to go into tax planning and tax things. And I'm just not totally good with IRS or numbers, so I told her, I love what you're doing, and continue to do it, but I'm going to be, leaving, and I decided to go ahead and open up my own agency for the credit repair. So I started that, and it completely took off because it solves a big problem that we have, that credit is not taught in schools. Young adults aren't taught about credit.
Yeah.
And it's super easy to go into debt. It's super easy to go the wrong way and need help. So that's why we offer not just credit repair, but credit building, and kind of trying to save people from possibly going into credit repair.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's say that again for the people in the back.
Yeah.
I mean, so what got you into that? What's part of you and your story is credit repair is solving a problem? How did you see it as a problem?
So me personally, before I had been presented with the opportunity or even knew anything about credit repair being a business, I believe 17 is when I started trying to buy a vehicle, and it was extremely hard because they wanted credit, they wanted W-2 income, they did not want to do a bank statement loan. I was having a lot of challenges, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to fix it on my own. I'm going to do it on my own. I built my credit up. I think within 3 months, went back to the dealership, and I walked away with the truck I wanted, with 0 down, with a really good interest rate. And I beat interest on that truck insanely, because whenever you go into a dealership and you put money on a down payment, they're applying all that to the interest of the loan. None of it goes towards the principal. And if you don't have a good interest rate, you're going to kind of be in the same boat. That's kind of where they get you in those 3 to 4. I think now even car loans go to 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
So a lot of people pay a lot more than what the vehicle is actually worth.
Right.
So at 17, I was able to do that for myself and get really good credit cards going, business lines of credit, being able to, pay my bills with credit cards, pay them off by my statement date, and rack up all these points to take my daughter to Disney World, to do all these awesome things, and just having good credit, because it's so needed. I tell people now, your credit score is more important than your social security number.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because without good credit, you can't do much. And a lot of people don't want to work or even focus on credit until it's too late. What are you going to do when you're in the loan office getting denied at that point and you needed the funds tomorrow?
Right. So it was your personal story, solving your own problem.
Yeah. So whenever I was presented with opportunity, I was like, oh yeah, like I can run with this. This is what I did and I saved myself from. And growing up too, after like 18, everyone's trying to get their first vehicle, or some people are going to college, some people are getting student loans, some people are just getting loans in general, because times can get hard. And it's so quick to go into debt. It's so quick to fall behind, to ruin that score. And then, what are you going to do whenever you want to buy a house? Definitely here in Midland and Odessa too, being in the oil field industry, seeing all these men make all this money and then being denied because they don't have credit, but they have the funds. So I feel like credit plays a huge role in all of it. And it's not taught in schools. Like I said, it's not something that we're even presented with in early college. Sometimes you may be, but it's very rare that we find a college or an ISD that, has that implemented into their school plans. So whenever I was presented with opportunity, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I can get behind this. This is something I can do. And I know it's going to be a good cause. And, like I talked about earlier.
Yeah. Solve the problem.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes.
We're definitely going to use problem solver in the title for this podcast. And that's interesting. So how long have you been doing the credit thing? 2 years,
yes.
Right? And you've helped hundreds of people.
Oh,
all right. Can you tell us any stories of no specifics obviously, but stories of somebody had a 450 6 months later or whatever.
Yeah, no, that happens all the time. So I've had people come to me with bankruptcies, foreclosures, repossessions on their credit. We get that off. And then if they don't have any goals in particular, then, they're free to go. But actually, and you can ask like anybody. Me, during my consultations, the number one thing I ask them too is, what are your goals? Where do you want your credit to go? Are you trying to buy a house? Are you trying to get a loan? Are you trying to get into a vehicle? Because I tell my clients, I'm here every step of the way. I'm basically holding your hand throughout the whole process. And I do not let my clients just run free as soon as their credit's fixed. Because all it takes is one dealership, one greedy salesman to run someone's score 90 times and put them back in the same spot. All it takes is one lender.
Wow, that happens. I haven't even thought about that.
Oh, yeah. Or like whenever lenders decide to deny someone just for being nitpicky, just because of one late hospital bill, just because of one missed payment and things like that. I don't let my clients get discouraged. I don't let their scores go down, because if one lender tells you no, the next thing you're going to do is go ask another one and then another one and another one. So I like to pull pre-approvals for my clients before I fully let them go. And I remember telling you this the other day as well. I always tell my clients, if one lender doesn't approve you in Midland, Texas, there's Odessa. If Odessa still denies you, then we have Dallas, Houston, and Austin. And if they still want to deny you, I'm sure, 49 other states, somebody's going to say yes before you let somebody ruin that score. Because I have seen lenders and auto dealers tack on those inquiries or deny people for simple reasons. But since we're not taught that, we're not taught that to tell them don't run my credit. We're not taught to even negotiate. A lot of people don't even know how to negotiate on their own behalf. So that's what I do for my clients and my customers to protect them and protect their score before I kind of just let them go.
So like somebody foreclosure, right? Obviously, and then everything hits their credit and their credit takes a major dump.
Yes.
Right? What's the lowest credit score you've ever seen? 300. Ow.
Yeah. Ooh. And it's very hard to see that on a bureau, because bureaus typically don't go that low. They go to 4, but really, really rare 3. And so in a lot of cases too, I have majority of I don't think I've ever had one client come back. And I've also never had to fulfill my policy where, we do 90 days, no results or your money back. So if you see no results in 90 days, and you're guaranteed, those 3 months of payment back. Yeah. So we do have a lot of success stories, and people, who were able to buy homes after foreclosure, or people who were able to buy a car after bankruptcy only a couple months after.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through like that 300 one?
Yeah.
Right? What did you get them up to, and how did that process look like?
So with my client who had, their score in the 300s, what actually brought them down the most was the lack of ratio and the lack of balance in the credit history. All he had was 2 negative cards, 2 hospital bills, and 1, I think it was repossession. So all of it being negative, it tanked his score completely to the bottom. It made him seem, untrustworthy in every single aspect. And that's really, really what tanked him. And I feel like that's also something that's super important in credit too, is teaching people to have that balance. Debt is not bad. It's not. Right. It's actually, it can be used as a tool. It can help you succeed. It helps a lot of people not use their money to make more money. But like I said, we're not taught that. So his whole credit profile was completely negative, completely derogatory. So we had to wipe it clean from that and basically give him no credit for a couple months before we could start building it back up.
No credit. So what do you mean? Just don't take out any or try anymore? Or what do you mean no credit?
So whenever you, take off a negative account on someone's behalf, that account no longer exists. Right. So there's no more credit history. Zeroed out. And then start again from new, getting new lines of credit and taking care of those credit lines and, building the score completely back up from zero.
And so those old credit lines that were negative,
yes.
Did he settle? Did he have to pay anything to him to write him off?
No. So once an account that you owe on is sold to a collection agency, it's paid. You don't owe a collection agency. It's illegal for them to be buying your debt. It really is, but nobody reads fine print.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So once it's out of the hands from your original debtor.
You don't have to pay them.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. And you're leveraging the law.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And that's actually how we get repossessions off as well, because if you have gap insurance and you let go of your vehicle, Gap is still entitled to pay. It's in their fine print, but nobody's going to read the fine print at the dealership
to enforce it.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm sure you've helped a lot of people out of
oh yeah.
What do I do? I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Next steps. So how do you're solving a problem, right? Who your customer is for that particular business. How can you talk about how they come to you? How do they find you? How do you get in front of them?
So my business, Electric Credit Consulting, is on all social media platforms. And then in West Texas, we are a little outdated. A lot of people still are business cards, brochures. So I do leave business cards everywhere, brochures. I go talk to dealerships, in person.
There you go.
I do a lot of open houses with realtors because people are coming in looking to buy a home. And they may or may not have credit, and a lot of people they probably won't say it on just looking at a home, but having an active credit repair specialist on site, kind of, it's like that leeway. They're like, yeah, you know what, I can use you and I can get this home, and it almost even changes the atmosphere in the room, because people are now, instead of shopping around, window shopping for homes, they're like, it feels possible.
Right, because you get them pre-approved.
Yeah. Yes. And so definitely, being more local and in the community. Not only that, but a lot of my businesses are now really known through all of our sponsorships that we've done within the community, and a lot of, just being out there and donating and doing things like that as well. Because I said, Midland and Odessa is a little outdated. So Facebook is really big here. LinkedIn's really big here. And that's how we get a lot of our customers. And definitely, word of mouth is super big.
Right. And so something you said in there that I think I was a guest on a podcast yesterday morning, right? And this it came up, right? Because, the question was asked, how does the technology, Facebook, social media, all those, how does that kind of contribute to the development of business, and where do you see that going, right? And so I flipped it though, right? I was like, well, actually, because technology, especially with AI, it's compounding the social media effect,
Yeah.
right? And it's making it ubiquitous. Everybody's just putting a post out and thinking, oh, that's going to do it for me, right?
Yeah.
But what you said in there earlier, you go to the dealerships, you're going to realtors, right?
Yes.
Hosting events, sponsoring.
Yes.
So what you're doing, you're old school.
Yes.
You know that, right? You are
Oh,
old
yeah.
school, right? So that's what it is. And I said on there, pick up the phone, go talk to somebody, go sit down with somebody, right?
Yeah.
Have a meeting with them, the
Yeah.
person face to face, and hey, this is what I offer. I can help your clients out. It's going to
Yeah.
benefit all this, right? I think that's so important because, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
like the next generation, you're in that next year,
Yeah.
you know, but it's that, you know, well, social media is everything,
Oh,
right? And I think it has a effect of losing the personal touch,
oh yeah.
right? And it's easy for a business owner to, because we get so caught up. I get so caught up in, I don't know, I got to make sure this happens. So I'm just at my desk all day long till my eyes hurt. I can't even see the screens anymore. It looks like the Matrix.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, okay. But, and what am I trying to do? Well, it's business development. I'm trying to get business in, right? I'm hunting, right?
Yes.
But I have to remind myself, okay, it's not just on a computer. It's
Yeah.
not just the internet, right? There's people that have flesh and blood
Oh yeah.
that, you know, that I need to go out and
Yeah.
I need to engage, I need to interact.
Yeah.
You know, so put on seminars, workshops,
Yes.
host networking events, sponsorships, right? Like really get out there, pound the pavement, right? Do the legwork,
Yes.
the footwork, right? Put it in, beat the bushes, right? I think that's a great lesson, you know,
Yeah.
for people to realize, remember.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs and small business owners, are you searching for ways of taking your business to the next level? BAM is your answer. We specialize in crafting high-performance marketing strategies that put your brand front and center right in the palm of your customers' hands. Not only can we create a premium website full of features that optimize your social media and digital marketing presence, but we ensure that your brand gets multiple views from your target audience and even those visiting your competition. BAM is your go-to solution in the Permian Basin. But we're not just about digital and social media marketing. We're a one-stop shop offering a spectrum of services, including business mentorship, strategic planning, market research, and access to capital. That's right. We can get you funding to expand your business. With BAM, you're not just getting a service, you're gaining a partner committed to your growth for the life of your business. So why wait? Kickstart your journey to success today. Call us to set up a free consultation and discover how BAM can help your business soar above the rest. 432-247-8840. Call today and get your business launched. The BAM BizTalk podcast is brought to you by our sponsor, Pachuco's Restaurant. Craving authentic and eclectic cuisine in Midland? Well, Pachuco's has you covered. Located in downtown Midland at the ever-so-legendary and iconic historic building at 316 North Big Spring Street, Pachuco's blends rich and unique flavors in a conveniently pleasant and vibrant atmosphere. Enjoy the highest quality barbecue, savory tacos, burgers, and a variety of other mouth-watering dishes that reflect the spirit of a true Pachuco cuisine. Real, authentic, and just plain different. Check out their menu at www.pachucos432.com or call 432-218-8806 to inquire, or better yet, just show up and get your shine on. At Pachucos, where heritage, exquisite taste, and hospitality come together for an unforgettable dining experience. Pachucos, Midland, Texas. Now back to the show.
I went to a entrepreneurial, before I started the business, I went back to school, and they had this entrepreneur program at UT Austin. Mm-hmm. And it was a 6-week program. I lived in Austin for 12 years before. Mm-hmm. And I went to UT. I went to UT back in the day. But I did it as an adult. I never lived on campus. I wasn't in the dorms or anything. But now, as a grown 30-something-year-old, I'm living on campus in a dorm, right? Going to school at UT, right? It's a program, but it's an entrepreneur program. And one of the main things that they pounded, just like every day we met, it was like a mantra.
Yeah.
Get out of the building.
Yes.
Get out of the building, right? So I think that's that rings true no matter where the technology is.
Oh yeah, and I always tell, and I'm trying to get a lot of my peers and younger business owners to understand it, but I feel like it is kind of losing its touch. But a handshake will always mean more than a text.
Always.
Yeah, and another big thing that I stand on as well is like as soon as I turned 18 and I made my LLC and I ran with it was getting involved with chambers of commerce. A lot of people completely skip that.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. And not only that, and I'm really big too on, I'm proud to be where I'm from in West Texas, and we do have so many businesses here. We do have so many great resources, but there's so many other counties, there's so many other states, and especially, being, business that, can be accessible from 50 states and worldwide. Why stop here? A lot of people, when they are doing social media marketing, are putting their location to only Midland, Texas, or to only Odessa, Texas. But how are you going to get your post out there in California without it going viral? It doesn't have to go viral. You just have to be strategic about it. And this is actually coming from someone who does not do social media marketing. And I get asked that a lot. But, and really just being mindful that there's so much more of the world to see and to hear from. And definitely with the Chambers of Commerce, a lot of people remember that. A lot of our older generations, before they go Google a business, they're going to check for a bookkeeper with the Chamber of Commerce. Why? Because it's active and trustworthy.
Right.
But a lot of new generation, they don't understand anything I just said.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right? What's a chamber?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it did get a bad stigma for a while, right? Because it's a remnant of whenever it came into existence. I don't even know when the chambers were founded. Like early century of the 20th century, right? And for so long, though, it got stale.
Yeah.
Because it was the old guard that ran the chambers.
Yeah.
And it was very membership, right? Very exclusive.
Yeah.
But I feel over the last couple decades, that's changed a lot, right? And, it's getting involved into the community, right? And that's done through the chambers. Chambers always, and I love that your mindset is there, right?
Yeah.
We host both the Midland Chamber of Commerce Mixer here at BAM once a year, right? So this one's set March 5th, and it's Chamber's first mixer of the year. It's going to be our 4th year in a row to host it, right? And it's like a Bamberger Friday, right? We have live music. We're going to have food. We're going to have, drinks, adult beverages, right?
Yeah.
And just like a backyard vibe, it's networking.
Yeah.
Right? And then for the Hispanic Chamber, we're also going to do something. I don't know what, right?
Yeah.
But I do workshops and seminars with them. But I think that you're doing, especially at where you're at, is it speaks to your success.
Yes, definitely.
And I think because you look at it that way, right? It shows. It reflects in what you're doing.
Yeah.
What business have we not talked about? Your truck,
the custom shop.
Yes. Tell us about that.
So for our Westlex Customs, we are a big custom shop in West Texas. We offer everything under one roof, whether it be tint, interior, exterior detailing, bumpers, a little bit of collision work, diesel mechanics, regular mechanics, wheel lights, rock lights, paint jobs, custom powder coating, lifts, drops, engine swapping, tires, rims, all of it. I mean, even team stickers. We have a little decal machine for team stickers because I grew up in Midland, and one of my favorite things was always cruising Florida and seeing all those trucks and cars. And I remember I would always tell my family, I'm going to have a truck like that one day.
Yeah.
No one believed me. And I did. At 17, I got my truck. And I remember, I'll never forget, I was 17, I knew my credit worked. I knew I left with the truck. I didn't put any money down. So the first thing I did was I ran to the nearest custom shop and I threw a lift on it and tires and wheels.
Quick.
Yeah. It was something that I've always had a passion for. I love big trucks. I love customs, all of that.
Yeah.
Mechanic work. My grandfather actually has owned a little muffler shop in Odessa for, I believe, 20 to 25 years.
Oh, wow.
Can't remember exactly how often, the exact year, but, that is where I also did get a little inspiration to, be my own business owner. And what actually happened, is it's really personal story, but I love the trucks. I love, the lights, the big trucks, lifts, and all that. But I never thought of going into business with it. I never did.
Right. It was just a passion of yours that you liked.
Passion, yes. It was something a hobby. It really was a hobby. And, that problem solver in me
Right.
really came to light one, evening when my grandfather came home from, his shop. And he told me, with tears in his eyes, he said, I'm getting evicted from the building. And I was like, what do you mean you're getting evicted from the building? To my understanding, you own this building. And he said, no, I don't. I never told you guys that I was been renting all this time. And my heart shattered for him.
Yeah.
I believe I was 19 whenever he told me this. And I was like, no, like this is, it can't die here,
Right.
And I was, my heart broke for him in pieces. And I wish, that there, I'm so grateful to see his hard work ethic and all that. But I really wish that, he had listened a little bit more to more knowledge on, owning versus renting and stuff. Because I saw it firsthand happen to him.
Yeah.
And whenever he told me that, he said, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I'm going to rent. I don't know if I'm going to retire. And I was like, you know what? No, I refuse to let this end for you, And I told him, I was like, I don't want you to stop. I was like, I don't know if you want to work anymore. You don't have to, but I will build a shop. I will build a shop. And if you would like to continue your name, sell me your LLC. I'm not asking you to hand it to me. I'm asking you to sell it to me. We continue your name. It was a really big decision. It was really big in my family because business and family never mixes. That is like one of my core values. It does not mix, Right. So I made sure that it was a transaction and not a family legacy or a family hand down because I wanted, no, I didn't want any altercations or disagreements in the family. And he told me, he was like, you know what, after he thought about it for a while, he was like, it's not going to work out for it to be the same name. We had a lot of things happening within the family and a lot of discussion being made. And I was like, you know what? That's okay.
Yeah.
But this will be made in, the legacy of you. And you being the first one to show me, what trucks were and all of that. So, there wasn't much I could do because the shop was being made. So I was kind of left with the shop.
You was already going.
I was already going. As soon as I found out, I had already had some land in my name here in Midland. It was unrestricted land too. So I was like, I'm building a house there. And I was like, I put a shop next to it like everybody else does. Yeah. And you know how easy it is? Those metal things go up quick. Very quick. Yeah. Made the contract for the metal shop after the house, and the house is still not done and the metal shop is up. They really do go up quick. Yeah. It was a lot to do. It was my first big brick-and-mortar investment. It was the first business I ever went into debt into to, make a profit back from it.
Yeah.
And my heart was genuinely torn too, because I was like, well, am I doing the right thing going into customs? Being a woman in the truck industry, it is hard. It is. And am I going to be, manager? Am I going to be just owner? What am I going to do? And I even for a little bit thought, do I give up on this dream? And do I go into heavy machinery equipment because it's easier? And it's an easy thing to do here in West Texas with, all of everything we have, oil, food, and construction. And I have big faith. I just prayed about it, and I told myself, know what, this is what I want to do, especially whenever at 19 is around when I started getting into truck teams as well. And I remember I went to my truck team, and they're like, your truck is so nice. And somebody was like, how much did you pay to get it to where it's at? And I showed them my invoices. I think I was like $16,000 into the truck so far. But that was not $16,000 worth of work. I was getting screwed off completely by a shop here in Midland. My invoices were super high compared to others, compared to a lot of my male friends. And it was not, after, talking to someone my age with a truck as well, I was like, wait a minute, what? I was like, there's no way. And I was like, well, there's nothing I can do now. I already paid and done. But I was like, that's insane, And I started thinking about it, and I was like, it is true. Thank God I have, always been blessed, and I've never really questioned, especially, a mom and pop shop,
Yeah.
about their prices, especially me being a business owner, if that's your price, that's your price. I'm going
Right.
to pay it. But never would I have thought for it to be that huge of a difference either.
So what much work was it in actuality? Like if they
Probably like 11,000. It was a big
Yeah, like
difference.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had paid almost $2,000 per each rim. They're 24 by 14s, and $2,000 market value will get you a rim like a 30-inch rim. So it's a big difference.
Yeah.
I paid $800 for rock lights that they sell for like $3 on Temu. Yeah. So lessons were learned there for me too, and I even put it to the test. I got my older brother, when I got my second truck, I said, hey, I'm going to go ask this tint shop how much they're going to charge me. 1 week from now, you go take the same truck.
Yeah.
He did. They told me $440, and they told him $250. So I said, okay. I called him, and he was like, hey, they told me $250. I was like, leave the truck. I'm not going now. I'm not paying that truck up. But, and seeing that happen here in Midland, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I was like, that is really messed up,
Uh-huh.
And I was like, not only that, but so definitely, the pricing was wrong. There was definitely some, they thought I did not know
Right.
a lot about the trucks, and, truly I didn't. I just took my lesson. So, in between while the shop was being made, I was kind of learning these lessons, and I was like, wow, this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And getting into customs and building a truck my first truck was the biggest pain ever. I drove all the way to Dallas to get my wheels. I got my tint done here in Midland. I had my lift put on in Odessa, leaving it here and there for days at a time. It was
Right.
so annoying.
Different places, all scattered.
Yeah, exhaust had to be done at one shop. If I wanted, some parts powder coated, I didn't want to go back to where I got, screwed over.
Obviously.
Just little jobs here and there. And I was like, it really sucks. Like, I wish I could just go in, show a picture on Instagram and be like, I want that.
Do it.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I think that's my calling. That's my sign. Then let me do it. Is when I made the shop, I had a lot, I feel like too, as being women, we do a lot of little details. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I want drains inside. So that way we can do detailing year round, and have it inside.
Oh, drains inside the shop.
Yes, drains inside the shop.
gotcha.
So that way we can do interior, clean interiors, clean exteriors, but on the inside, so that way people aren't out in the cold. Whenever no one's out washing trucks, you can still go get a wash.
Yeah.
The little details like having just, a circuit in the office for truck stickers, because, I don't think there's one or two maybe shops that you can go get a sticker done at and have work done there. But majority of the time you're being sent to somebody's Instagram or the mall or Vinyl Images, and it's just another stop on the road.
Right.
Yeah. I was like, no, I want it really all in one. Like, I want to be that shop where you come in, you show me that truck on Instagram, and you leave with it.
So are you the only shop here that does that?
As of right now, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you encountered other shops like in Dallas or whatever that all in one?
I have not. There's one in Houston that is similar, and they do a lot of, I think what they're only missing is like collision work and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
I
when
really
you said that, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, well, and it's because
makes sense, though.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, like, whenever this shop was being built, like, all the signs were there for me to go with that dream. I totaled my last truck, last year in March.
Yeah.
And whenever my truck was totaled, I had to call 3 tow trucks to come pick it up, because a person would get there and be like, it's too wide, it doesn't fit, we can't take it, or if we do take it, we're going to damage it 10 times more, and it may not be salvageable.
Right.
So I didn't want to take that risk. It took 3 different tow companies to finally pick the truck up. So, I experienced that too. And I was like, well, if I have a custom shop LLC, I'm going to pull a tow truck out. And if one of our trucks is on the road and they need us, we'll go get them, because things like that happen and nobody thinks about that.
Right.
Yeah. So I experienced that. The loss of my truck was like the biggest heartbreak I've ever had.
And that was the first one.
Yeah, it was my first truck, paid off, insurance didn't even bat an eye at it. They said, no, you messed with the truck, it has a lift, we're not going to fix anything. Yeah, and it was a huge loss, and it just, showed me, that, kind of like those lessons I was like learning, and I was like, wow, I was like, they don't really care about this, but if there was a place in Midland I trusted, I would sure take it there.
Right.
And I was like, well, problem solving again. I can be that problem solver for others. And especially too, having a tow truck available and being a custom shop, I feel like is so important, because, these jobs people pay thousands and thousands of dollars for, and wrecks happen all the time. And insurance may not cover, and, you know, having to call a tow truck and have 3 other tow trucks come, you know, that's stressful in a moment. So if I can save people from that, I will. Not only that, but even just like our schedule, I have never heard of a schedule like this ever. We are open from 6 in the morning to 10 at night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense, though.
Yeah, if you think about it, it really does. Because, well, I mean, all the other tire shops here close at 5 or 6. I think late is 7.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense because we're all at work.
Yeah, we're all at work. So if you know, go out of your office and, you know, you have a flat tire, what do? What do you genuinely do? Every place is closed, or you have 2 hours to get there. Yeah, so then, you know, also me being a mother, that solves another problem, because guess what? If we are a custom shop, but if you need a tire, we have any size tire.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So it creates that accessibility for everyone else, you know, even in regular vehicles, that we are available. You know, if you 6 in the morning and your work truck has a huge nail in it and nowhere's open, you can stop by. We're on a county road. We're close to everybody in the oil field. You know, and we have, you know, doors big enough to take a semi-trailer if needed, or, you know, fix a tire on a trailer bed. You know, being accessible to a lot of those, you know, little things that happen that no one really pays attention to. Yeah, and not only that, but it breaks the 9 to 5 schedule for my guys, because they can either come work 6 to 2 or 2 to 10.
Right. Yeah, it allows them to work at their lifestyle.
Yeah. You know, because everyone nowadays is like, I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I don't want to work a 9 to 5. Yeah. I was like, you know, that's really cool too, because we aren't 9 to 5 here. You know?
I bet you a lot of them are probably truck guys, car guys.
Yeah.
Right? Gear.
Yeah, and a lot of them have kids too, so, you know, it warms my heart too when they're like 6 to 2 is perfect. Mom, you know, drops off and I pick up.
Yeah.
You know, because mom's stuck in the office till 5, because that's how our world revolves.
That's how it works.
Yeah. But it's like super rewarding too to, like, you know, be able to help people like that.
Yeah.
And to be able to be the difference and solve all those little problems that nobody thinks about.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of solving problems and wrapping a business around that problem.
Yeah. The truck shop has been, you know, a dream come true, a blessing come true. And not only that, but, you know, I did this in remembrance of my grandfather and what he started. You know, and my grandfather, he only offered exhaust and welding pipes. That's all he did. And that's what we do too. You know, we have a little bit of everything. And like I said, really, for me, it's like the one-stop shop. That's what I want it to be.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
What does your grandfather say about it?
So me and my family, we have always had like our ups and downs on stuff. You know, I'm sure that they're proud of me in their own ways, but they're very old school Mexicans. So he believes that a woman has no need being in that industry.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's old school.
Yeah.
Old school thinking.
Yeah.
You know, but you're changing it.
Oh yeah.
You know, you are changing the legacy.
Yes,
right?
definitely.
And you're not forgetting the past legacy. That's what's cool about it, right?
Yes.
Like you're accepting it.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is, basically.
Yeah.
You know.
Starting a business isn't about logos, especially luck. It's about building a foundation that lasts. The Business Accelerator Blueprint by BAM Ventures gives you a proven 5-step system to launch and scale in 90 days. From entity formation and branding to cash flow systems and growth, this blueprint takes you from scattered to streamlined. Don't guess your way through business. It's not the way to go. Build it in a smart way. Call BAM Ventures, your business sidekick, 432-247-8841. And let's lock in your blueprint on the pathway to success.
You know. So how many employees do you have total, all your businesses? Like
I believe we're right now like 16.
Okay.
Yeah. Most really the truck shop is what takes up the most.
That's the most,
yeah.
right.
I am expanding my credit repair agency this year, though. We're going to be hiring 10 more people.
10?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How many do you have right now?
Me and one other person.
So 2 of y'all. Mm-hmm. And you're going to hire up to 10 or 10 more?
10 more.
Wow. All in the area?
It's going to be available work from home. So it does not have to be in the area.
Be wherever?
Yeah, it can be wherever.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Yes.
Like, what are the qualifications for that?
So really, there is no qualifications needed to be a credit repair specialist. Mm-hmm. It's, you know, if you can do it, you can do it. There is, you know, like some little certifications you can do online and stuff. Mm-hmm. And they are more than welcome to get those if they would like. And if not, that's okay. We train we can train you.
Okay.
Same thing with the custom shop. You know, taking on high school kids, a lot of people won't do it, but it's like, where do these kids start off? You know, no one wants to give them a job or give them a hand and show them how to do it. So that's kind of where I am with the credit repair side as well. You know, we will train you and stuff. As really with credit repair, it's all, you know, it's such like a little subject in America, in this world, you know, because they don't have a lot of books on it. It's not taught in schools. Right. You know, there's not a lot of courses for it. I've never been a fan of courses to begin with, but, you know, so it's really just, if you can learn it, you can learn it.
Right. So what are some qualities that you would look for? Like somebody that obviously communicates well?
Oh, yeah, definitely communication and discipline. Discipline is a big thing for me. And
as in like what time you're going to be working every day, or like
I like the discipline to get your tasks done, and integrity, because you know, you can work one way in front of me, but how are you working behind my back?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think this would be a good job for like a college student who is going to school full time, you know, but like say they're like in a nursing program?
Yeah.
Right? And so they have to be there Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
And if they work, it has to be at night or an overnight job.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how does that, like, they call their own hours, or how does it work?
So with the credit repair, we go based off clients and your paid salary. So you get a X amount of clients, and I do have I give them the leeway of, you decide how you want to do it. You just need to get it done. I can break it down for you multiple ways. You know, for example, I do 10 clients a day, Monday through Friday. And that is equals my X amount per month that I need to meet. But if you want to do 5, if you want to do 50 in 2 nights, that's completely up to you. But, you know, it's how you know what works for you, because like you said, everyone's so different. For example, you and I do better at night, so if you wanted to be a credit repair specialist, of course I have no problem with you doing your work from 6 to 10 p.m. You know, who am I to tell you no? You know yourself best. As long as you have the integrity and discipline to get it done.
Right. Yeah,
and do it right.
So would that entail, like, do you have to consult with the person for the like onboarding?
Yeah.
Okay, and then communicate with the credit companies on their behalf? Is that how that 6 to 10 would work?
Yes.
Ah, okay. That's cool. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to have somebody for you.
Oh, yeah. Bring them on. Yes.
Like, daughter, she's going to she's going to nursing school.
Oh, okay.
Right? So she just started. And I just got off the phone with her earlier this morning, and she's telling me her classes. She's got a heavy schedule coming up, right?
Yeah.
And she has a job right now, right?
Yeah.
But she's going to have to switch, like, her shifts.
Yeah.
And, working overnight, and then you got to be at class first thing in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, when are you going to sleep, babe? Oh, that's not worried about that right now, Dad. I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like for me, it's all, I was just telling my friend about this, I think yesterday. We were sending voice memos back and forth because he was like, thank you for all your advice. And I was like, you're welcome. And then a topic came up, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I don't feel comfortable giving you advice on this because I haven't experienced it. And he was like, oh, what do you mean? And I was like, well, I truly like to give advice from where I have experienced it. And that's what I do with my businesses and my people that, I do bring on. I teach them from my experience, and my experience has changed so much with work and life. I had my daughter at 16 years old, so for a while I was only working at nights whenever her sleep hours were longer. And then when she became 1, I was working more during the day. When she became 2, I was only working at nights again, because terrible 2s are a real thing.
They're real.
Now I'm working 9 to 3, and it may change again, but it can get done. And I really feel like breaking that whole 9 to 5 schedule, and there's so much more that we can do. There's 24 hours in a day. It's up to you what you do. I always tell people too, we all have the same 24 hours.
100%.
We all have the same 24 hours. So what one person does, you can do, and you can do more probably.
Right. This is how you slice it up.
Yeah.
How you apply yourself, right?
Yes.
That whole conversation, you lit up, right?
Yeah.
You recognize that, when you talk about your truck.
Yeah.
That business, you lit up, and that's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Because that's a passion business,
yes.
Right? That is what, when people say, what kind of business do you want to own, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you passionate about? What do you love, right? That's one aspect, right? But then you also got to be able to make money with it, because
oh yeah,
it's a business.
Yeah.
Right? That's the primary goal of a business, right?
Yeah.
to make money, because if you don't make money, obviously you're
Absolutely,
stick
yeah.
around, right? But if you can match that with what you're passionate about, what you love, and then you're problem solving, so you're helping people, right?
Yeah.
What does the world need? So you know what ikigai is?
No.
Ikigai is a Japanese concept to where there's 4 worlds that overlap, and that overlap of those 4 different worlds is the ikigai. That's like the sweet spot, right? So it's what you love, right? What does the world need, right? What are you good at,
Yeah.
right? And how can you make money with it?
Yes.
So if you put all those 4 together, that's your ikigai.
Yeah.
You know, so I think you're pretty good at finding ikigais here everywhere.
Yes.
So we have one more business to talk about, right?
Yes.
So tell us about the vending machine baby dive. What's it called again?
Baby
Corp. Yeah, how could I
Yes.
forget? That's a great name.
I literally got the idea from Boss Baby. I was watching Boss Baby with my daughter, and I was like, "Oh my God, babies in suits! It's so cute."
Baby corporate.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your vision for that?
So for that, I completely just want to be a founder. I want nothing to do with the business. It's being presented to investors and a board to take over. It's going to be a lot bigger than I could have ever imagined a business, that I could open by myself. We're producing vending machines. We're, having vending machines loaded up, taken places, being restocked, refilled, factories, warehouses full of these items, working with big brands like Pampers to get, packs of 3 diapers because they don't do that.
Right.
Smaller packs of wipes on our shelves, individual bottles, sanitized pacifiers, postpartum needs. So, different things being individually wrapped that normally you can only buy in a box at a store. It has been a huge project that has been in the works for about 5 years as well.
Oh wow, that long.
Yeah. Well, and it first came to my mind whenever my daughter dropped her pacifier here at Midland Park Mall. I was so upset. It ruined my whole day. I went home crying. I cried for like 3 days about it because I was like, wow, I feel like I can go nowhere. I didn't have a vehicle at the time, so I couldn't really just, I feel bad to ask my friend, hey, can you take me all the way to Walgreens or all the way to Walmart to get another pacifier so my baby can, just be peaceful in her stroller for the rest of, the year. And it just was like an isolating moment that I feel like a lot of mothers have, because whenever your toddler is screaming bloody murder on an airplane and or in the mall, you really do feel alone in that moment. And I feel like nowadays too, it's like so unnormalized to have a community and help each other. Like not everybody will, come up to you and be like, hey, do you need help? Or can I hold the baby? Do you need anything? It's just not normalized anymore. Right. So kind of bringing, how accessible everything is in this world now, with the fact that motherhood is such like a neglected area. It really is, I was like, I do something to change that. And I remember, seeing like the eyelash vending machine, the vending machine. I was like, wow, those awesome for them because every business matters. But, eyelash vending machine, that really somebody thought about that and it hit. And I'm happy for them. But, why can't we do the same aspect for mothers and even single fathers? I have a handful of friends who are single fathers and they, when they have their kids, they don't want to leave home. And I'm like, you have to. You have to. You're doing this to yourself, but and I mean, and I feel like men freak out more in those situations because they're like, oh my God, the kid's crying, like I need to go right now. And it's like, no, it's gonna be okay. So being able to have that accessibility anywhere in malls and like I said, universities, airports. I think the most I've paid for a pacifier was like $16 on our way to Disney World. $16 for a baby pacifier. Wow. Not everyone can afford that. No. And like I said, just it not being accessible at all. If you forget a diaper, your child uses the last one and you're, out at the mall and you need to get something, right then and there, it's such a struggle. It really is. Yeah. Even postpartum, care. Right. Women, they shouldn't have to take these huge backpacks everywhere, and not only that, but like postpartum care, but menstrual care will be available in the vending machines as well, because if you are out and you have an accident, you got to go all the way home, you got to go all the way to Walgreens. It's so hard, to have those things near you. So that's what really brought me into the idea of like, no, I want to make it accessible. Do I do a store? Do I do? And I was like, vending machines, like, there's a vending machine for like almost everything. You would have thought of the idea of now putting some baby bottles in a vending machine,
Right.
but it hasn't been a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that as like, to you, it was obvious, right?
Yeah.
And fast forward several years, right? It's just going to be normal.
Yeah, I
That's
hope
how
it.
you
I
see
really
it.
do hope it is normal, and that is why I'm bringing in, a board of directors and investors to kind of help me make it normal.
Yeah. So how did, take us down that path? How did you end up thinking that's how I want to run this company or put this company together?
Honestly, it was a huge. I had spoke about burnout a little bit earlier, and I experienced heavy burnout with my boutique and the credit repair agency, and I was like, if I don't walk away at some point, I'm going to ruin my potential with this. I'm completely burnt out to the ground, and it's okay to have a team. I don't have to own and figure out every single company. Now, the ones that I can, I'm more than grateful to be there for, but just because I have the idea and I want to put it into place, I don't have to be alone on it.
Right.
Yeah. So in my first business too, that I am like completely just a founder of, and I'll receive a percentage for the rest of my life. And, I vote as well on things that they want to do because it's not only going to be mine. It's been a huge experience because I felt like I was it has to be mine. I have to do it this way. I have to be the
Right.
only one. You can't trust anybody. I was like that so bad with, my first couple businesses, and it didn't get me anywhere. So definitely letting go to grow.
I like
Yeah.
that. And so how did you put together the board? And it's a C Corp, right?
Yeah.
And so like, how did you find the board, and how do you know that those are the...
So I've been going back and forth to New York ever since I turned 18. I've gone on a couple different reasons. I also invest a lot on the side outside of any of my businesses. So, when you go over there and you meet people and you shake people's hands, you get to know somebody who knows somebody. I've met so many amazing people, so many, great consulting companies, agencies that can help with this kind of thing. So, and like I said earlier, if we don't have them in Odessa, there's a lot of other places that do have it,
For sure.
Yeah, so that's what I did there. I was talking about it at one of our board meetings that we were having over there, and someone was like, yeah, no, like if you want to do that, I have an investor for you. Like I'm sure like he will agree in the first 20 minutes of this, you explaining this. And I was like, there's no way. I was like, no, what? I was like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just ripple affected from there because like I said, somebody knows somebody who knows somebody,
Yeah.
and I got put in all the right places to let off. Yeah.
It's over the last several years.
Yeah, this has been the longest project I've ever had. I mean, I put up a truck shop quicker than I did. Yeah.
But you're already, when you're talking to her, it sounds like you're already going like warehouses and
Yeah, this one is
inventory.
going to be big. Yeah.
Yeah, and like y'all are making the machines themselves,
Yeah.
the vending machines.
Yes.
Like outfitting.
Yeah.
Wow, from scratch.
From scratch, yes.
And is this company, you guys going to be the sole distributors of all the machines?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. It's not like somebody has a vending machine
And yeah, they want to or like purchase a vending machine and then
Right.
put it up. It's not that way. Yeah.
Ah.
It's solely this company.
And so for every city and space, you're going to have an employee that
Yes.
goes and switches.
So where our warehouses are located, within the next 5 years, we will not be able to have a vending machine in all 50 states. That's not going to be the case,
Right.
because we want a local warehouse
Right.
to where we can have these things being distributed evenly. We'll have, a great team set in every, factory and warehouse where, they have, their managers and, their employees, and somebody's getting told what to do and stuff. And for it to properly, for example, Texas warehouse is located in Dallas. We are hours away from Houston, Austin, Midland, Odessa, Abilene.
Right.
Lots of areas we can, overnight things, have people out there every week, inspecting machines and taking care of them. For example, California will have a warehouse in San Francisco. We'll be able to have some in LA, have some in other places.
Yeah.
Our main vending machine warehouse is in Utah. So Utah's going to be one of them. But as far as maybe getting a baby vending machine out to Wisconsin or Maryland, that's
Yeah.
going to be a little bit trickier and going to be in the
Right.
works for a couple years.
Right. But you're
Yeah.
seeing off in the main hubs,
Yeah.
Texas, California. Okay, and then obviously Utah.
Yeah, and I know, I feel like Utah definitely, they got a lot of babies over there. Mormon Wives is a big hit.
Yeah. So I have a friend.
Yeah.
She moved to Utah.
Yeah.
And she started a baby business in
Yeah.
Utah. Like, I'm like, wait, what?
It's like daycares in Minnesota.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
just popped up and it's working, right? And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
well, Utah. Go Utah, you know. That's amazing. That's super cool. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
'Cause that's a
Yes.
right, and I love it, and I want to hear more about it when we have you back at Founders Blend.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, that's what I had mentioned to you when we had our meeting not that long ago. You know, like I would definitely love to come back to Founders Blend with a different company.
How does October sound?
We can do October. That'll work.
I
Yes.
think so. 'Cause it's gonna be here at BAM.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll
You
do
can put
that.
me down for that. Yes.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yes.
Cool. Did we cover all your companies?
I actually have one more, which is Hacienda
right.
de Sol AP. It's our
Say
wedding-
this in.
Hacienda de Sol.
Mexico.
Yes, and that one
Yeah.
is in Mexico. So, pushing business back, you know, to where I'm from, and out of the country has been completely insane to me as well. Yeah.
You're taking all these out of the box challenges on.
Yes. Yeah. I am really big on like we have this whole world, you know, and you don't have to have a local business. If your business is not online, you know, you can be anywhere.
Yeah.
And not only that, but you know, me being Mexican and being able to push business back into Mexico, you know, now with these businesses being bigger than I could ever imagine, you know, I'm so grateful that we can offer jobs to people,
Yeah.
you know, helping families, all of that stuff. So the wedding venue, I got my dual citizenship to Mexico, I believe, when I was 18. And as soon as I got my dual citizenship, I was like, well, let me prepare myself financially for, you know, whatever I decide to do. So I started, and I recommend this to anybody who's, you know, like an entrepreneur or such, to either, you know, if you are not fully, you know, from here, you have, you know, heritage in other countries, go get your dual citizenship, go have, you know, your backup plan. Our world is a tad bit scary. You never know what's going to happen. As soon as I got my dual citizenship, I opened up my Mexican bank account and I would send myself a check every month for $500 for cleaning. For office cleaning, home cleaning, and it was income, you know, to them, to the Mexican government, to the Mexican banks. And, you know, when I was now that I'm 21, so it's been 3 years, I have all that set up. Mexico has a stock market as well, you know, invested a little bit in their treasury and all that good stuff. So the funds weren't just sitting there, you know, kind of going spoiled. And I was in between, do I go into like a development? Do I get a rental house in Cancun like everyone else does? Like, what can I do to produce more income, you know, build my portfolio? Do I get into real estate? Do I want to buy a house? It was just, you know, kind of what's next.
Right.
And I was, because I feel like I read a lot of books and I obviously have businesses here. And I feel like the number one thing you're told to do is as soon as you're making money, get into real estate, go buy a rental property.
Right.
That's not the way.
That's the first thing you do.
That's not the way to retire anymore. It's not the way to make millions anymore. It's not. These mortgage, these loan rates, sadly, it is, you know, I see people go into debt and come to me to credit repair with a, you know, house that they bought that wasn't getting rent out, that got foreclosed on. So I've seen it firsthand, and I didn't want to make that mistake. But for a little bit, I was kind of being influenced to lean that way, you know, buy a rental property, rent it out. It's easy. It's passive income.
Yeah.
Passive is like $150. You know, once you go into property taxes, your HOA fee, your mortgage, you know, God forbid your renters break something, that's on you.
Right.
Are you really going to be setting aside for that? You know, because I would like to be prepared. And I did all the math and I was like down to like $150 a month. And I was like, I'm going to be reliable for this, for renters, for 35 years to gain $150 a month. And then all this headache. And then after 35 years, finally, maybe be able to bring in $3,000. If that's what the housing market is at.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Absolutely not. And I was so close on a house actually here in Midland, not to live in, but to rent out, because that's what I was being influenced to do.
Right.
And that night, I don't know what got into me, but I was like, no, I can't do it. I was like, this down payment money that I'm about to hand over tomorrow at the closing table, I was like, I can't do it. I backed out. I felt really bad.
So you're right there at the line.
Yeah, and that night, I kid you not, I had this weird dream of having a beautiful, like, venue and, like, resort type thing. And I was like, what? I was like, what is going on in my head, you know? And then I started thinking about it, and I just woke up that morning, and I was like, you know, before I cancel this and you know, I was like, I remembered when I took, you know, upon myself, I was like, let me Google real quick how much venues cost in Mexico. Destination venues, $12K a night. Wow. $10,000 a night, $8,000 a night, depending on the area.
Wow.
You know, up to $30,000 a night with, you know, housing.
Wow.
It was like, oh my God. I was like, there's so much money in this. There's no way.
Like versus 150
a month. Yeah. I was like, there's no way. And I was like, oh, guess what? I'm Mexican. And guess what? I already have the Mexican bank account. So I could just literally deposit these funds into the Mexican bank account and roll with it.
Before you had the idea, you were already, you had started it.
Yeah.
Without an end goal.
Yeah.
Just,
well, end goal. I did start moving, you know,
Yeah.
money back into Mexico,
Yeah.
you know, for that reason. And, you know, just not only that, but I grew up a little troubled, you know, I kind of said that a little bit. So it's me, and I feel like I really do this a lot, you know, in my adulthood and with business as well, but there is a backup plan to a backup plan to a backup plan.
Yeah.
So, you know, God forbid I ever have a problem here with a business or with something, I can rely on something else for a while, you know, and having multiple businesses has taught me that. But not only that, but really just like I said, you know, kind of now being at the point in life where I don't have to necessarily rely on income, you know, I'm making jobs for people over there. That means a lot to me, you know. So, you know, that morning I was like, okay, you know what, this is what I'm being called to do. You know, I was like, I'm gonna make this dream come true.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't think the United States real estate market is how I'm going to retire.
Right.
Yeah, so I started looking into venues, land. Do I want to build from scratch? Do I want to pick up where someone's left off? I found this beautiful, beautiful venue in San de Alendre, Guanajuato.
Beautiful area.
Beautiful area. Super speaks English.
Yeah.
Everyone speaks English there. And I was like, you know what? I was like, you know, this is it. I mean, it was odd. Struggled with some businesses, and others have been completely, you know, placed exactly how they needed to be. We signed over the contracts, and we're picking everything up and, you know, finishing up construction, renewing cabins, and remodeling some stuff. It is a beautiful, beautiful. Not only venue, but there's a venue, you know, it can fit up to 2,000 guests indoor and outdoor.
Yeah.
And then there's 3 cabins on the land. Not only that, but there's like a bonsai garden. It's super pretty. Like it has a fountain. So I was like, you know what? This is now beyond, you know, venue income. Because yes, we can rent this out every day of the week if they so choose to be every day of the week. But, you know, we also have cabins. And not only that, you know, but we can have this bonsai garden be a place where photographers can come do their wedding pictures. You know, quinceañeras can come do pictures and all that. And guess what? If you have this beautiful venue in the background and you're getting tagged on Instagram just for photographer's pictures, it all flows together. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's super cool.
Yes. And not only that, but I mean, bless me, because now I get to go have my wedding over there if I ever get married.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so I like that story of you were there.
Yeah.
Gonna wake up, hand over thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Sign your name, and then you're locked in.
Yeah.
For
For 35
35
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Then, but based off an instinct, right? You
Yeah,
have
an
a feeling,
instinct, yeah.
right? Then that fueled, spurred a dream, right? That you literally have. And then here is the courage to act on is where I'm getting to,
Oh, yeah.
right? Because most people would have been like, oh, well, okay.
Let me sleep on it again tonight.
I've already said yes.
Yeah.
I've already here. The title company, the bank, everybody's, you know, my realtor, you know, they're like expecting to get this 3% or 6 or whatever, right? And,
Yeah.
all right, I'm just going to go through with it because I've said I was going to go through with it.
Yeah.
Right. But to have the courage to be like, no, I'm walking.
Yeah.
Right. Always have that, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know, like you have the power to make a decision instead of giving your power away.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's an important kind of part. Like listen to your gut, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, and you've said it times in here, but like, you know, your faith.
Yeah.
Right. Like I've, you know, in my old age, I've only recently kind of really leaned into that. Right. And I like, why was I struggling all of these years?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, now it's like, oh, that's what it takes.
Yeah.
You know, but I think, you know, we try to operate out of our heads.
Yes. Definitely.
right? I know I am, because I'm a control. I want control.
Oh yeah, I was in that area of life for a long time too. And I finally told myself, you know what? My faith in God has to be bigger than the faith in myself and this plan. Because
Yeah.
I have the faith in myself to do it. But if I don't have the faith in him, it's not going to get done.
Right.
I can do this day and night.
Yeah.
But if I don't believe in him and it is not what he wants done, it won't. And you know what's crazy is after I let go of all that control, because that's how I was. And you know how I told you I had a little bit of burnout. And I mean,
Yeah.
I was to the point where I was like, do I close my boutique doors? Do I focus on one company at a time? And it took me, you know, really giving into my faith and really praying to God, you know, is this what you want me to do?
Yeah.
And thank God, you know, only a year later, so many opportunities have been presented to me, so many opportunities have taken off.
Yeah.
And every time, you know, before my head hits that pillow, I tell myself, you know, if it's not in God's plan for me, I don't want it. And, you know, in instances like that, where you were talking about, you know, being able to walk away from a deal like that, a lot of people are so scared to do that. And you're so right. But I would much rather be, you know, say no and regret it later than put myself in a bind, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that instinct, that intuition, getting right, that dream that you're having,
Yeah.
that is a God thing.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
You're being directed. Don't do that, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what's that old story? It's like there's a people, right? And the captain's going down the river. And you know, it's like, we're going to the promised land, right?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, God, this is the direction. Let me, you know, show me the sign if we need to turn back or whatever, right? Well, there's other people coming back this way, say, don't go. And they're like, no,
Yeah.
you know, I know better. I'm going in. So a couple boats come by. They're all telling them, don't go. The edge, everybody dies on the boat, right?
Yeah.
Guy gets to heaven. He's like, God, what happened? Right? I thought you know, you're telling me. And I said multiple people.
Yeah.
I said, you know, I threw signs at you. You were just,
Yeah.
you didn't listen.
Yeah.
You didn't listen to the voice.
Yeah.
You didn't listen to me saying, turn around. Don't go, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's a skill. That is such a skill. Like you have to like really sit on it, right? And be open to it, I guess.
Yes.
Because when we're in our heads, we're not listening,
Yeah.
you know. But it's like the detachment,
Yes.
right? I'm detaching myself from this. Show me the way,
Yes.
right? And then you walk it,
Yeah.
right? I think that's amazing. I believe that you're already doing it. You're gonna have a long career.
Oh yeah.
And I'm excited to see all the different kinds of businesses that you're going to build and
Yeah.
what you're going to do from here on out, right?
Oh, yeah.
You've already stacked up quite a resume.
Yeah.
So congratulations on your success, and look forward to seeing much more, right?
Yes.
And actually learning from you, right? Because you do teach people
Oh yeah.
just by living out,
Yeah.
you know? So what is one thing that like you want to leave our listeners today with? Like, what if you had one thing to leave with, what would that be?
I am going to go based off, you know, your last comment there about, you know, me teaching you. One thing that I live by and I tell myself every day, and I tell people younger and older than me, it's really going to be, you know, what the audience, what the listener makes out of it. But I will tell you this, you are nothing in life if you aren't teachable.
I love that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And always be willing to learn.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. Because if you know everything, there's no hope. There's
Yeah.
no hope for you if you know everything.
Yeah.
You know, I love that. Be teachable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can really learn anything. I mean, it doesn't have to be through school. It can be through experience. It can be through a book. It can be through a podcast. It could be through ChatGPT. We have so many resources in the palm of our hands. So many
Yeah.
to take advantage of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being open to it.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. And that goes for, you know, like entrepreneurs. It goes for people who have careers. You know, just be teachable. Always listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen before you talk. Definitely.
Right?
Yes.
Got 2 ears in one mouth.
Yeah.
For a reason.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I remember when I was young in junior high school, my dad, that's something that he would always tell me, because I'd always just say
Yeah.
what's on my mind, right? And
Yeah.
he was like, think before you speak,
Yeah.
you know? And I'm like, oh, well, okay, but I really thought that, you know? But, that's
Yeah.
what you mean. You mean to think and, okay, be smarter about how I
Yeah.
speak. Okay.
Yeah, and definitely too, going into that, and something that I've taught myself, and I feel like it's something that anybody can learn it. It's definitely a habit, but quit thinking about your response. It's the person speaking.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like listen
Yes.
and wait until they're done, and then generate your response in your head. Because if you are, just ready to back a lash at what's coming out of their mouth, that's not gonna work. That's how conversations work.
That just
in communication.
fuels the fire and
Yeah.
miscommunication, and then it blows up, right? They're like, how
Yeah.
did that happen?
Yeah.
Well, because you weren't listening.
Yeah.
I think that's very
Yeah.
So where can people find you at?
I am on all social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. Definitely more on Facebook and LinkedIn business-wise. Instagram and Snapchat are more truck-wise, the
Okay.
truck scene. I have a TikTok. People can find me just about on anything. I have a link tree. I think everything is linked on Linktree.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is all just by name. So you can just look up really, I think it's Destiny Vargas or Destiny, and everything will pop up.
Okay.
Because little fun fact, I also made my business a name.
You made what now?
My business a name.
You made your business a name?
My name of business.
Your name of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
okay.
I had that backwards, but yes. So yeah, you
LLC,
can,
your name?
yes, I did. So like on all social media, it's Destiny. That there's an LLC behind that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you tell people why that's a smart thing to do?
I don't want to own anything. I mean, we could have a whole another podcast on that.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, because that's definitely gonna have to be a whole another podcast because there's a lot that goes into that. But yeah, because I don't, Destiny Vargas is just that's me. Hi, I'm here, but
Right.
I don't know anything. That truck outside is not mine. There's some of the companies aren't owned by me. Nothing comes back to me. It all comes back either to the founding LLC, or another one of the other businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And even like social media payouts and stuff. I mean, it comes in handy. If you go big on TikTok, you need an EIN to, get paid. So just have it ready. Yeah. And it's so helpful tax wise. And there's a lot of, perks to that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just real quick. I don't, I know we could talk about all this, but it's like you had teams set up, right? A bookkeeper,
Yeah.
CPA, who is able to handle all of your businesses
Yeah.
and all that and put them into, and so to set all that up though, right? Do you have like an advisor who advises you
Oh, yeah,
on structure,
definitely. Oh, yeah.
lawyers and all that? Right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. And
Yes. There's a reason that, they are in the position they are in. Definitely.
right.
Yeah.
Right. And there's you're in.
Oh, yeah.
that you're in. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, man, I've enjoyed our conversation. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
For sure. Look forward to working together as well in all of it. Seeing you grow and seeing you do your thing.
Yes.
All right. Well, cool. Well, thank you. All right, folks. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.